absolutely spot on from my point of view. He throws a shoulder into a guy's head after the ball's gone. I mean, it's fucking mental. I thought Thompson was a little bit unlucky with his one. I sort of thought it kind of set himself like widespread for the tackle one way or the other, and then lost balance, and that led to the trip. I think he's got a grade B charge and a 2-match penalty notice off the back of that, Bodine Thompson. So obviously the match review panel are backing up what the ref and the video ref or whatever you saw at the time. So fair enough. I saw it slightly differently, but again, I don't think it would have changed anything.
No.
On that.
When I first saw it, and I thought, oh well, he has used the foot, but he's grabbed him first, so that's okay. But then when I saw the replay, I realised that he didn't really grab him. He just sort of put a hand on his shoulder and then put his foot out. So I know what you mean. Like I'm not sure how intentional it was what he did, but he did definitely trip him. But I don't know if it was intentional or not. So, but it was strange. It's really strange because like tripping. I mean, it's not a great thing, but it was always like a send-off was tripping.
Yeah, it used to be really one of the biggest sins in the game, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, oh, that's not good, because I think there's not much, you're not getting many of them anymore. But I always remember the old, a lot of the little halfbacks would like to grab someone by the shoulders and trip them over, and that's okay as long as you've grabbed them. And so I thought, oh, well, that's what he's done. He hasn't mean to, but he's grabbed him first on the shoulder, then he's allowed to use the leg, but he didn't really grab him first. So I think if he would have actually grabbed a bit of the jersey, I think he would have got off. But yeah, it's just an instinct where you check your leg out, and I think that's what he's got it for. But yeah, 2 matches seems a little harsh, but
in terms of the general game overall, I sort of felt like I said, I thought Leeds were decent, in parts. They matched St. Helens to an extent in making ground. They didn't match them necessarily close to the try line. That was in attack and defence. That was a reason why the scoreline got the way it got, even before the implosion in the last 20 minutes. Leeds scored that first try of the second half, or second try of the second half, and made it close. And then the one where Hanley patted it back and Bodine Thompson went over to score. But then pretty much straight away, they let the Parsi try in where it was too easy for him to score under the posts. Kind of that no grunt in the middle, coming back on the defensive side as well as the offensive side for Leeds on that one. And I thought from that point, it just descended then. Saints were walking up the field as easy as they wanted to, even more so than they had been. And then the cards started to come, the tries started to come even more so. And Saints were just way too good. Some of the Saints guys have pulled out some of the individual performers already. Hurrell, Walmsley, Wellesby, Benison's got a couple of positive mentions. I agree with all of that from a St. Helens perspective. What was your take on Saints in this one?
Yeah, look, I think that Leeds took it to them early, and they were good. Like that first half, they were good. But yeah, they can't match it with them for 80 minutes. It didn't really look like to me that Saints were ever going to get beaten. But I thought that Leeds might keep it a bit closer than what they did. But like they just fell apart at the end. I do agree. I think they're middle. They need something better in the middle there. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get anything. But look, as what Leeds looked like earlier in the season, they look a lot better now. And I think I agree with you. I think Austin actually was quite good. And I wouldn't really put the loss on him, but like a lot of people like to do that with Austin. It's just the personality. But I totally agree. Like the match sort of turned once they kind of got too far behind, and it was just all, Bentley and Tenavato they just lost their heads. And I mean, once that sort of happens, that was the end of the game. I mean, Tenavato's one was pretty late on anyway, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, I don't think that was a fair scoreline,
wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that was a fair scoreline, but I think that it was, maybe a few less tries would have been more fair. But they once you lose control against St. Helens, they know how to punish you. So
that's it.
And if you're going to let guys run right through, that's what's going to happen.
It felt more like a 3-score margin but it blew out because of them losing the heads.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking of losing the heads, one positive for Leeds was Harry Newman's performance. He was a real threat. In a way, some of Leeds' tactics in the first half were kind of get the ball to Harry and see if he can do anything. And actually, he did do stuff, and he scored a try. He made a couple of breaks where he made a bit of ground and set up some good field position, that sort of stuff. That was great, Harry Newman. There was also a flip side to Harry Newman in this game. He's got a grade C, aggressive behaviour towards a match official charge, which has carried a 2-match penalty notice with it for him. And this was on the try that the referee made a really good live call on. And I can't remember which try it was now. And Newman was basically saying, how on earth could you possibly think that ball was put down? But when it went to the video ref, it was very clear and obvious that a try was scored by David, help me. Which try was it?
I don't remember which one it was. I'm sorry.
No, but his reaction, I thought at the time, Grant did quite well to kind of step away from it and not engage on it. But it wasn't really flagged up in the coverage, talked about, or anything like that. I am glad that something's been pulled up off the back of it, because he went further than you would normally expect someone to go in terms of how much he blew up about the decision. And clearly he was proved to be wrong. He was from the other side of the incident, looking at the incident, and didn't have a good view of it, whereas the referee got himself in the perfect position, made the right live call. It was backed up by the clear video evidence. And I think that is a lesson for young Harry that is maybe needed to suffer there, because he really blew up, and not in a good way. And that's the sort of thing that, like you said before, makes other people think that they're entitled to blow up at referees. In unacceptable ways, not in fair, reasonable criticism, but in unacceptable ways.
Yeah, and look, you always taught. I remember of all my playing career, which was not very long, I do remember like one particular incident where, I thought the referee had something wrong, and I kept, like, I was only probably 10 or 11 or something at the time, but I remember, like, I wasn't swearing anything to the ref. I just kept saying, "You got to be kidding! What are you talking about?" And then to this referee's credit, he stopped and he explained exactly what it was. It was the when you sort of pass backwards, but it bounces forwards.
Yeah.
It was that sort of thing. And I didn't really understand it that well, but he explained it to me. And he said, and then I didn't want to listen to him. And he's like, "Look, would you rather keep playing the game, or would you rather sit down over there?" And I went, "Okay, I understand." So I stopped, right? But that's, of all my playing career, I remember that. And because I went into refereeing, and I remembered that how that guy approached it, basically just kept his cool and just said, "Look, we're not going to have, this is what the decision is. I'll explain it to you, but that's all you're going to get. Or you can go sit over there." And I think maybe the best thing to do with Harry Newman is make him referee for 2 weeks while he's on ban. Make him do some refereeing somewhere and see what abuse he gets. And see how he knows.
The smarts, if I'm honest with you. He's got the skills, but not the smarts.
Probably not. But that might be. I mean, maybe that's where we've got to go forward. We've got to get more people, doing referee course and understanding what it's like, understanding the rules, because a lot of people don't even understand the rules properly of the sport we watch. So,
I mean, I can understand the frustration if you roll up all the things that Leeds might have thought went against them with some of the close calls, the Regan Grace, the Conrad Hurrell, those sort of things. But it's still not acceptable to blow up and maintain the blow up like Harry Newman did here. And, it would have been nice to see him go over and apologise to the referee after the video evidence was clear cut that the referee got it right. But, anyway. Anything else from you on this game?
No, I think that's it. Basically what I said before. I think Walmsley just destroyed them, and everyone else played off the back of that.
Yep. Okay. One piece of news we've not covered yet about coming out of Saints this week. Centre Ben Davies has extended his contract with the club until at least the end of the 2024 season. So it's another young player tied down for another couple of years at St Helens. Moving on to the first game we're going to talk about from Friday night. Wigan versus Toulouse. It was 28-0 to the home side Wigan at halftime, 40 points to 6 by the full-time hooter. Liam Moore was the referee, and 14,493 were on the ground for Wigan's Armed Forces Day. Like, look, don't get me wrong, there was some free and discounted tickets for our armed forces and their families and that sort of stuff in that number. But for Wigan to get their highest home crowd of the year with a game against Toulouse, I think that is, commendable. What isn't commendable is the stats on the Super League website, because incomplete stats, Lambert Balmas was missing for Toulouse, so I can't really compare the teams fairly there. But do you want to give us the individuals?
Definitely. So Abbas Miski, 4 tries. Yes, 4 tries, 166 metres, 4 clean breaks, and is that 4 offloads?
Yeah.
Yes, 4 offloads. Bevan French, former Parramatta Eels player Bevan French, 1 try, 3 try assists, 5 tackle breaks, 113 metres. Former reserve grade Parramatta player Jai Field.
He played first
1 try, 6... I remember as a reserve grader. 1 try, 6 tackle busts, 126 metres, 3 clean breaks. For Toulouse, it was Chris Hankinson, 100 metres, and Matty Russell, 102 metres.
Yeah, David at Pen Hits Paper said, an impressive effort off the field from Warriors, Armed Forces Day, and a new improved fan village. Wigan really engaging with the community again, and pride running through the club. Toulouse offered very little, and Wigan played in the second half with the handbrake on. 2 points, and Miski's best game for the club. Next. Some nice positive comments though about the around the game stuff there that Matty Pete's actually talked about quite a bit in some interviews this week. If you go to our friends Love Rugby League, they've got an interview piece with him this on the website this week, going through that sort of stuff as well. Do you want to pick what Jen said?
So Jen K, not a particularly absorbing game at the DW, but good to be back after the long absence. The game was over as a contest after 4 minutes, really. Most people around us in the East stand were just chatting and catching up. Easy win.
Matt Speakman said, decent result in a potential banana skin. We all know Wigan's record against newly promoted teams and on Armed Forces Day, especially when they fill the North Stand with freebies. So I'm just glad we won. French stood out at fullback and happy for Miski.
White Pie said, Friday night back at the DW saw Abbas Express roll into town with 4 tries for the winger, and Bevan and Jai driving to bomb a try in the first half when it's easier to score.
Oh yeah, the shut the gate twins were made a break, but Ollie Ashall-Bott actually did pretty well and kind of made them not really decide what to do, Field and French, and then they kind of messed it up. But Wigan won a penalty the next play, and then or it was either a penalty or we forced an error when they tried to intercept a wide pass. One of them. We got another set basically anyway, and my Ginger Prince went in and scored. So yeah, that was that. Sorry, what else?
That's all right. So he said Toulouse looked poor and Wigan took their foot off the gas in the second half. Nice to test players and still get a win. Roll on, wakey away.
Yeah, and EFC 78JU said, since they are that easy to beat, the fate is sealed for Toulouse, who are definitely going down now at the end of the season. Not up for debate, he says. Well, we'll maybe have a conversation about it in the next month with some of the fixtures they've got.
We might get onto that a bit further when we talk about some of the other games that happened.
Wigan went through them a bit by bit. Jay Field is just being Jay Field with his pace, and he added the weave in his try. That was scored. Bevan French has got back to his normal self since returning from injury. He also had speed on him, and he's gone to put the ball down. Yeah, Jay Field's footwork for his try, incredible. Have you seen the highlights of that one? He danced in and out of the defenders from 5 or 6 meters out from the line. It was a relatively poor pass that was just behind him that he took and then kind of slowed down the attack. He didn't know what to do. And then 2 steps later, he's beat 4 men and he scored a try. It was remarkable.
You guys took Bevan French from Parramatta, and then you took the next Bevan French, Jay Field, and you've got them both in this side. They're both amazing. Like the amount of times that I've seen those guys kind of just put the pace on and just take someone, like just take them, and then you're like, yeah, no, it's amazing. You
almost expect it, which is why it was like I was expecting a try for the break that White Pie talked about, because Jay Field made a break from his own